Striker Scorpion 82 is now sponsored by Warhammer Combat Cards, a card battle game featuring your favourite Citadel miniatures from the 40k universe. Build your army decks, dominate opponents in player versus player action, collect and upgrade cards to fit your strategy, improve their power and unlock unique traits. Choose from all 40k factions, take part in campaigns based on iconic 40k battles, rise to the top of the leaderboard and win glory. Free to download and play, link is in the video description below or on the channel homepage, and by using the unique link it helps support the channel. Thanks and enjoy the game. Right, welcome to this review for the new Imperial Armor Compendium. It's basically all your Forge World models, the ones that Games Workshop have selected here in this lovely produced book, just to go alongside your Codex books. Big thank you to Games Workshop for sending me a copy of this ahead of time. Check out gamingfigures.com for discount 40k. The link for them is in the video description below. So, this book is about 320 odd pages. So what I'm thinking of doing, if I do a full review of this book, it's going to be about 6 hours long, going through all the stats. So I was thinking about, well, maybe I'll just not do a review at all. A flick through is going to be really boring. So what I've decided to do instead is a few points of conversation about this. We'll flick through the whole book, a few things I want to point out, and then I'm just going to browse through some of the Forge World units. Ones that we'll look at those, like this one. And then we'll also... There's a few units that I've had my eye on from Forge I'd like to get, and there'll be a chance for a bit of feedback from people as well. So try and make this fun and interesting, and a chance just to get a bit of a flick through and general impressions of this book. So some comments I've heard about this is units that are no longer are not in here. So that's something to talk about. James complains about Forge World deleting models from their range when they're beautiful models and they're no longer available and they just sort of disappear, which is tragic. And then if units are no longer in production, maybe the rules sort of fade away as well, and you can't get rules for units as well. So that's something to talk about. What units, if you notice any units that are missing from this, and then what happens, if they're not in here, then what happens after that? Do you have to go to Forge World publications to find those, or is this it for 9th edition? You can only use units from this. I'm not sure the current situation with that. The other thing is something a bit weird. I'll open this up. I don't see what you think of this, but I don't like this here. Not one to complain too much, but I was just a bit surprised. So there's tons of stuff in here. It's going to take a while even just to flick through this, but there's your introduction. And it's going to cover Forces of the Adeptus Astartes, the Imperium, and Forces of Chaos, and then all your Xenos. So this book's split into 4 parts. It's vast, it's huge. So, Space Marine data sheets. A little bit of commentary about some of these chapters here. I'm particularly interested in the Red Scorpions. And they're now saying here, because myself, I play them, Tom plays them as well. Although the Red Scorpions are technically an unknown founding, it has been said that their zealous adherence to the Codex Astartes makes them a successor chapter of the Ultramarines. For all rules purposes, we suggest the Red Scorpions are considered to be an Ultramarine successor chapter. So they're just asking you. I don't think they're commanding you. They're just suggesting it. And so can use all the rules for an Ultramarine successor chapter that are presented in the Codex Space Marines and the supplement Ultramarines. We also recommend that Red Scorpions use the Inheritors of the Primarch successor chapter tactic and use the chapter tactic of the Ultramarines as described in Codex Space Marines to best reflect their style of waging war. So Tom uses Iron Hands, so whether he'll stick with that or I don't know. The Games Workshop are just suggesting that you go for Ultramarines. Minotaurs, you've got the Blood Ravens, perhaps famous now for being used in some of the computer games. The Carcharodons and the Astral Claws. Yeah, so this is the other point of discussion. I don't know why they've done this. Where are all the pictures of the models? And Maybe I'm the only one, but I find that a little bit irritating. Look, it's just, there's no pictures. Maybe it's me just requiring sort of simple, you know, books of pictures and stuff, but it's annoying for trying to find, sometimes you're trying to find a unit, yes, you're looking for the text, but the picture can guide you in where you need to be on the page. But here it's just this rusty brown planet. So I don't know what's happened. Why not put the pictures in? See, for example, see the difference here. Just bring up some of the units. See, look at the presentation of that. It's fantastic. You've got a nice picture of the model, nicely placed onto the page, and then your eyes quickly drawn. You know, where's the Watchmaster? Oh, there he is, because you can see the wording, but then it's the image of the model as well. But now with the Forge World book, it's just a brown planet for all of them. So I think that's a terrible shame, because, you know, and a bit silly as well, because this, if someone buys this book, it almost acts like a catalogue. You're going to browse through it, and one of the major selling points for these units isn't the wording, it's the picture. You know, you'll look through and you say, oh, I love the look of that tank. You know, what's the rules for it? And you're drawn to the actual model itself. You know, usually that's the way I work. I look at the Forge World website, and then you say, what's that unit there? And you think that's an amazing unit. And then afterwards you look at the rules and what faction and so on. But that's missing from here. So I think Games Workshop have missed an opportunity by turning this into a bit of a showcase, a bit of a catalogue. Because there's dozens and dozens and dozens of units, and there's no pictures for them. So that's all. I'll stop there, but that's just my point. It'd be great to hear your own feedback, what you think about that as well. As I said, I can't go through all these stat lines and stuff here. The video would be tedious, to say the least. I'll pick out a few then. Carib Khan, he's been on the channel a good few times, so he's taken a bit of a knock, but a points reduction at the same time. So Grey Knights, is it here? Yeah, so there's no options for war gear, it's just fixed at 265 points. It still sounds really expensive, but I think his stat line's been hit a bit here. So we'll go through him just out of interest. So it's a table for him. So on his full stat line, movement 8, it's nice and quick for the Dreadnought. Weapon skill and ballistic skill 2+. These are the things that are affected, so the movement will drop from 8 to 6 to 4, weapon skill goes 2+, 3+, 4+, and the same for ballistic skill. Strength 7, this is where he's taking a hit. He's toughness 7 now. Eesh. 14 wounds though, ridiculous. 5 attacks base, nice. Leadership 8 and a 2-up save. And then the Tarsus Scorpi, I guess, is his claw. Times 2 strength, so his strength 14, AP -3 and 4 damage, which is still very nasty indeed. He's got Angels of Death, Automatic Shielding, Duty Eternal, and Rites of Battle, which is for the same as like a captain for the Space Marines. He's got Death Hold. The model does not suffer the penalty to hit rolls when making attacks with its heavy bolter that targets units within engagement range. Nice. And then explodes as well. D3 mortal wounds units within 6 inches. Okay. Cassian Sabius, Loved Huron, Arminius Volthex, Gabriel Angelos, Asturion Moloch, Ivanus Komai, Severin Loth. Some of these are familiar, Tom's used to him. Tiberos the Red Wake, Braylaf Ash Mental, Damocles Command Rhino, Hecaton Akos, a Dorito Dreadnought. I always like the look of them. 12 wounds, toughness 7, 4 attacks, but it's the autocannon battery. So it's an autocannon battery, you just have one of them. So which one is it? The Anvilus autocannon. Yeah, it is. Heavy 8, range 36, heavy 8, strength 7, -2, 2 damage. Really good. Yep. And it's got Martial Legacy, Automatic Shielding, Duty Eternal. Nice. Duty Eternal. Just need to check if Caleb Cone has it. Oh, he does, that's right. The Viper Dreadnought, a Relic Contemptor Dreadnought, Deathstorm Drop Pod, Javelin Attack Speeder, Land Speeder Tempests, Land Raider Proteus, Land Raider Achilles, Sikaran Battle Tank, Sikaran Arcus, Sikaran Punisher, Sikaran Venator, Sikaran Omega. See, I have no idea what it looks like. That's the annoying thing. Rapier Carrier, Whirlwind Scorpius, Vindicator Laser Destroyer, Dreadnought Drop Pod, Terax Pattern Termite, a Xiphon Interceptor, Storm Eagle Gunship, Fire Raptor. This is another model I've had my eye on as well. Maybe giving away some of my wish list stuff for Forge World. Let's just have a little look at this. This is interesting. So Strength 8, strange. Ballistic Skill 3+, that drops though to 4+, 5+, movement 20 to 45 inches, then 20 to 35, and 20 to 25. Toughness 7, 18 wounds, brilliant, wow. You've got to get it down to 8 wounds to drop it in a bracket, which is nice, and it's got to get to 4 wounds or less to be in the lowest bracket, so it can take some punishment. 3-up armor save. So, a Fire Raptor is equipped with, maybe in the comment section, you know, units I'm talking about that I'm interested in, what do you think of those choices? I think it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful model. So it's equipped with a twin Avenger bolt cannon, 2 twin autocannons, and 2 twin Hellstrike launchers. So quad heavy bolter. You can swap them out. You can swap out the 2 twin autocannons for the 2 quad heavy bolters. So a single quad heavy bolter, range 36, heavy 12. Oh, and with damage 2 now, that's just got incredibly good. Oh, amazing. Then the twin autocannon is, remember, equipped to 2 of those, range 48, heavy 4, strength 7, -1, 2 damage. Very nice. And then it's equipped with the twin Avenger bolt cannon, range 36, heavy 10, strength 6, -2, 2 damage. Fantastic. The Dakka that's on this thing. The Fire Raptor gunship. So then the twin Hellstrike launcher here, a bit of anti-tank, range 72, heavy 2, strength 8, -3, and 3 damage. It's got 4 of those shots. You're on +1 to hit against aircraft, and also, it's crazy, each time an attack is made with this weapon is allocated to an aircraft model, the damage is increased to D3 +3. Wow. Absolutely fantastic. So you got airborne, hard to hit, hover, supersonic, hoverjet, martial legacy, explodes. Yeah, the loadout, that's fantastic. Beautiful. And the model's amazing as well. So it's a flyer, obviously. Fire Raptor, 340 points. If you go for quad heavy bolters, it's an extra 30 points. But you're still keeping yourself below 400 points, and the twin laser cannon's an option as well. I probably wouldn't. I would go for... Yeah, see, the autocannon is quite useful. It gives you a little bit of anti-tank ability extra if you need it, or anti-heavy infantry, whichever way around you want to go. A bit of flexibility with that. But the quad heavy bolter, 24 shots, may well be worth the extra 30 points. Fire Raptor's a beauty. Typhon, Cerberus, Spartan. The Fell Blade is another model I've had my eye on. 26 wounds and toughness 8. Just out of interest's sake, the Fell Blade Accelerator Cannon. So you've got 2 options, HE shells, both range 72, heavy 2d6 is blast, strength 8 -3 and 3 damage, nasty. Really nasty. Ballistic skill is a 3+ to start off with, and the AE shells, heavy 2, strength 14, -4, straight 6 damage. Whether you pretty much fire HE shells all the time. Laser Destroyer then, how many of those is it equipped with? Yeah, so this model's 2 quad las cannons can be replaced with 2 laser destroyers. So the quad las cannons is obviously 4 las cannon shots, strength 9 -3 d6 damage. But those 2 quad las cannons, you're kicking out 8 las cannon shots. But you can replace that with the laser destroyer, which is shorter range, range 36, but that's not really going to matter for 9th edition games. Heavy 3, it's 6 shots instead of 8, but it's strength 10. It's an extra AP minus, minus 4, and it's D3 plus 3 damage. Quite reliable in the damage. Tough choice, that one. Yeah. So, it's armed to the teeth, so wicked anti-tank ability with that. Horrific amount. It's the number of less cannon shots is a scary thing. Falchion, the Astraeus. Tom has one of those for his red scorpions. 30 wounds, toughness 8. So, an Iron Owl Heavy Stubber. It's not on here. 2 Astraeus Las Rippers. Range 36, Heavy 2, Strength 9, minus 3 d6 damage. A Storm Bolter, Twin Heavy Bolter, Twin Macro Accelerator Cannon. So, what's it saying here? 2 Plasma Eradicators. The Astraeus Las Rippers can be replaced with Plasma Eradicators. 2 profiles, standard. Range 36, Heavy d6, Strength 7, minus 4, 2 damage blast. Or Supercharge. Range 36, Heavy d6, Strength 8, minus 4, 3 damage. Any unmodified hit rolls of 1 is made with a weapon in this profile. The bearer suffers a mortal wound after shooting with this weapon. So the Twin Macro Accelerator Cannon, range 72, heavy 12, strength 8, minus 2, and 3 damage. It's okay. Void shields. It's got 2 void shields. Each void shield has 3 shield points. Whilst this model has any void shields, it has a 5+ invuln save against ranged attacks. Each time a saving throw is fouled for the model against a ranged attack. If it has any void shields, it does not suffer any damage. Instead, for each point of damage inflicted, one of its void shield loses 1 shield point. Once a void shield has lost a shield point, it must continue to lose shield points due to any further damage inflicted until it collapses. Each time an attack causes a void shield to be reduced to 0 shield points, that void shield collapses. So like a las cannon causes 3 wounds, the shield absorbs it and then the shield collapses. Yep, I think. Each time, yeah, this model loses that void shield and any excess damage inflicted by that attack is lost. Oh, so the excess doesn't carry over, how interesting. Void shields can never be used to prevent mortal wounds. Each mortal wound inflicted on a model with void shields causes that model to lose 1 wound as normal. At the start of your command phase, if this model has a void shield that has fewer than 3 shield points remaining, that void shield is restored to 3 shield points. Fewer than 3. But can you reactivate one that's been collapsed, is the question. I'm not sure. Love the idea of the shields though, very cool. The Mastodon, the Thunderhawk Gunship, 30 wound flyer, the Sokar Pattern Stormbird, the Tarantula Sentry Battery. Points values, Grey Knight's datasheets, the Land Raider Banisher. Never even heard of that one. Grey Knight's Thunderhawk Gunship. Forces of the Astra Militarum, coming up next. Talking about the Death Corps Krieg with a background on them. So you've got a Marshal for them, Death Rider Squadron Commander, Death Rider Command Squadron, Command Engineer Squad, Death Rider Squadron. I guess maybe it would have been a bit difficult to get all the pictures together, but I still should have done it, I think. The Carnodon, Cyclops Demolition Vehicle, Heavy Mortar Battery, Armageddon Pattern Basilisks, the Medusas, Annihilator, the Malcador, the Defender, Shaker Carriage Battery, the Colossus Bombards, Heavy Quad Launcher Battery, Malcador Furnace, Medusa Carriage Battery, Thunderers, Rapier Laser Destroyer Battery. Range 36, Heavy 3, Strength 10, minus 4, and D3 plus 3 damage. The Valdor Tank Hunter, the Avenger Strike Fighter, the Arvus Lighter, the Voss Pattern Lightning, Thunderbolt, the Vulture Gunship, the Hellstrike Rack, Heavy 2, Strength 8, minus 2, D6 plus 2 damage. The Vulture Gatling Cannon, Heavy 20, range 24, Strength 5, minus 0, 1 damage. And the Vendetta Gunship, James has one of those. The Trojan Support Vehicle, the Hades Breaching Drill, the Macarius Vanquisher, James has that vehicle. What? I need to read out the stats for this. Is toughness 8 and 22 wounds. James doesn't like using this vehicle very often. What? That's ridiculous. What on earth? So movement 10. To get it down to its final brackets, it starts on 22, but the lowest bracket reduce it to ballistic skill 6+, which is not very good, really, but that's guard, isn't it? And 4-inch move, but it's between 1 to 5 wounds, quite resilient. And toughness 8. The Macarius Twin Vanquisher Cannon, range 72, heavy 2, Just trying to get the hits is the problem. But when you do hit, strength 16, -4 and 9 damage. Each time attack is made with this weapon against a vehicle or monster unit, add 1 to the attack's hit roll. Hey, +1 to the hit roll. Nice. That is really good. Damage 9. This model's 2 heavy stubbers can be replaced with the following: 2 heavy bolters, 2 heavy flamers. And heavy bolter's pretty good now. You can take a hunter killer, and you can be equipped with a storm bolter and heavy stubber. Steel behemoth, rules, and it's got smoke launchers as well. And I need to know what the points are. James could maybe try that out in some of his guard games. Damage 9. Amazing, it's Lord of War. 310 points for that one. Usual war gear upgrades added on top. That's not bad, it's pretty good. Yeah, throw a couple of heavy bolters on there. Extra 340 points, the heavy bolters. Throw on a storm bolter and hunter killer. Yeah, it's not too bad, that points cost, and that's not astronomical. Damage 9 though, just for the fun of it. God. Pretty good. And the Macarius, the Vulcan, the Praetor, the Minotaur, the Crassus, the Marauder Bomber, the Marauder Destroyer, the Tarantula Battery and Stormblade. The points values. Inquisition datasheets, Solomon Locke, Inquisitor Hector Rex. I hope you're enjoying just sort of dipping in here and there, so we've gone too long otherwise. The Custodian Guard, the Sagittarium, Tom runs those. Custodian Guard, Aquilon Custodians, Contemptor Gladius Galactus Dreadnought, the Agamatus Custodians, Contemptor Achilles Dreadnought, the Telemon Dreadnought, the Venatari Custodians, the Pallas Grav Tank, the Cladius Grav Tank, the Coronis Grav Carrier, the Orion Assault Dropship. I think Tom runs that as well, big thing. The Ares Gunship, there's the points values. The Admech, so Secutari Hoplites, Secretary Peltists, Terex Pattern Termites. There's the points values for them. Imperial Knights data sheets. The Cerastus Knight Lancer, the Castus Knight Asterius, the Knight Lancer. We had that in the Apocalypse game one time. James Otero from Siege Studios brought his along, and it swung around the flank and then stuck the lance through the side of James's Scout Titan and brought it down in one round of combat. So always can remember the Knight Lancer. 26 wounds, toughness 8. What kind of points are we looking at here? 440 points. No upgrades. Flat 440 points. 26 wounds. So 14 or more wounds is movement 14. See how quick it is. Weapon skill and ballistic skills affected. It'll drop to a 4+, between 7 to 13 wounds, then 1 to 6 wounds remaining. It's 10-inch move, still fast. 10-inch move and a 5+ for weapon skill and ballistic skill. 5 attacks as base, 3 up save. It's a shock lance and titanic feet. So the shock lance. Oh, phew, I thought that was melee. Damage D3. It's shooting. Range 18. Heavy 6. Strength 6 -1 D3 damage. Didn't cause a bit of trouble. And then the shock lance in close combat is 2 profiles. 1 if you charge, 1 if you don't. Standard. +6 strength. So strength 14. -4 and 6 damage. Wow. Charged is times 2 strength. So strength 16. -4 and 8 damage. And 8 damage. Cool. Brilliant. Super Heavy Walker. And the Iron Gauntlet Shield. It's a 5+ invuln save. Very useful. This model has a 4+ invuln save in close combat. Each time a Titanic unit makes a melee attack that targets this model, it's -1 to that hit roll as well. The Iron Gauntlet Shield. Fantastic model. And the rules look incredible. And I guess you can take it in Imperial Knights, give it things like Warlord traits, relics and so on, just to give it little boosters here and there to make it even better. Wow. Okay, Cerastus Knight Castigator, the Acheron, then the Magira, the Knight Atropos, Knight Moirax, Knight Styrix, and then the Porphyrion. Imperial Knights points values. Titans, the Warhound Titans, 50 wounds, toughness 8. The Reaver Titan, 70 wounds. The Warbringer Nemesis Titan, 100 wounds. Someone had to be 100 wounds. There it is. The Reaver Volcano Cannon, heavy D6, 120-inch range. Strength 18. There's nothing. Sure, there's nothing can beat that. AP -5, 12 damage. Blast. Ooh, the Volcano Nemesis Volcano Cannon. Heavy 3d3, so you can get 3 to 9 shots. Strength 18, -5, 12 damage. Blast. Crazy. And the Warlord Titan. Oh, sorry, 120 wounds. Oh boy. Oh no, sorry. The Bellicosa Volcano Cannon, range 120, heavy 3d3, strength 20. There it is. AP -5 and 12 damage. Whoa, the Ariok Power Claw. Strength 18, -5, 18 damage. In a completely different league. Chaos Space Marines, the Decimator, Contemptor Dreadnought, Leviathan Dreadnought, Dorito Dreadnought, the Blight Drone, the Greater Blight Drone, the Dreadclaw Drop Pod, the Blood Slaughterer, the Chaos Land Raider Proteus, the Achilles, the Sakaran Battle Tank, the Venator, the Scorpius, the Punisher, the Rapier Carrier, Pattern Termite, Hell Talon, Hellblade, the Xiphon Interceptor, Storm Eagle Gunship, Chaos Fire Raptor, the Greater Brass Scorpion, 28 wounds for a Brass Scorpion, Chaos Typhon, the Chaos Cerberus, the Khitan Ravager, Chaos Spartan, Chaos Falchion, Chaos Fellblade, Mastodon, the Thunderbolt Gunship, the Assault Claw, the Sokar Pattern Stormbird 50. Oh, sorry, the Stormbird, and it's 50 power, so it's just next to each other there. That's the points values for them. Death Guard, the Greater Blight Drone. That's it. The Chaos Demons, Uraka the Warfiend, the Mammon Transfigured, the Korvax Utter Blight, the Scabiofrex the Bloated. If I'd have gone through this book with all the stat lines, I probably would have never done a review ever again. I just would have finished me off. Angrath the Unbound, Eteros Raukeres, Zarakinel, Chaos Demons, points values, Chaos Knights, so Asterius Knight, Castigator, Akron Lancer, the Nagira, the Atropos, the Moirax, the Styrix, the Polyphron, the Chaos Knight points values, the Titans, Chaos Titan Legion points values, Craft Worlds. Right, so on to some Xenos fun stuff, yeah. Shadow Spectres, interesting unit. The Prism Rifle then, range 18, Assault D6, Strength 5, -1, 1 damage blast. Focused is Assault 1, Strength 6, -3, 3 damage. Interesting little things. The Hornet. The Hornet Pulse Lasers, heavy 2, Strength 7, -2, 2 damage. Interesting weapon. Get a little bit on the weak side. Super quick though, the Hornet. Beautiful model, and movement 18 on that thing. It's got 8 wounds though. The Lynx. Yeah, the Lynx Pulsar is a pretty good weapon. Range 48, heavy 6. Guaranteed 6 shots. Fantastic. Strength 9, -3, 3 damage. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. The Warp Hunter. Yes, this was pointed out on the Plus show in an army. As I think it was a channel subscriber list analysis video, and they were taking the Warp Hunter. It's very useful because you've got damage profile, but there's auto hits on one of these. Yeah, this one here, the Rift. The D-Flat when you fire Rift. Range 12, heavy 3, strength 12, -4 D6 damage, and it's auto hits on the target. So you know, if you're already down to your last 3 wounds, you can just float around auto hitting stuff. And then Blast is range 24, heavy D3, strength 12, -4 D3 plus 3 damage, and it's a blast weapon. And you can fire at targets that aren't visible, so you can hide, fire at longer range. When you do take wounds, you can move out and auto hit. And very useful on Overwatch as well. So it's an amazing unit, this one. 12 wounds, toughness 7. No special rules to protect it. But movement 16 as well, so the speed of the thing. The Warp Hunter's incredible. The Wraithseer, the Nightwing, the Scorpion, the Cobra. Back. This is Scorpion Mark II. I think this is the Scorpion Mark II Super Heavy. It's just that's called the Scorpion here. So I have this one here, movement 14. It is toughness 8. It's the ballistic skill drops, the attacks drop, which is insignificant, and then the movement. The worst it will drop is to 6 inches. 26 wounds, loads of wounds. This thing, nice and tough at toughness 8, which is good. The Twin Scorpion Pulsar. So just equipped to that one weapon, you can give it a few extra bits as well. So range 60, heavy 12. So off to a good start. AP -4 and 3 damage. Nothing else on top of that. Okay, interesting. It's a 5+ invuln save for the distortion field. You do have access to the vehicle equipment list. Okay, so Pulsar, it's alright, but it's not as terrifying as it used to be, I don't think. No. There's no minus to hit rolls against this thing. I guess you can go Craftworld and go Latok perhaps. Okay, interesting. Maybe it's been stripped a little bit. There used to be rules, I think, for when I first got this, the original rules were it gave you +1 to the hit rolls, I think, if it remained stationary. But that's not here anymore. So the best you're going to get is 3+. Unless you got Eldar Guide, would help. The Cobra, 26 wounds as well. The D Impaler is range 36, heavy 2d3, strength 16, -5 and 6 damage. Modified wound rolls of 4+, it's D3 mortal wounds in addition to any normal damage. Each time an attack is made. That's utterly horrific. And what's exceptionally useful about that is with mortal wounds, if you're trying to fire at like a Horde type unit or a unit that's got multiple models, those mortal wounds are going to overflow from one model to the next. So that makes it very good. 5+ invuln save as well, but the Cobra is pretty good. The Skatak Wraith Knight, the Revenant Titan, I have one of these, toughness 9, nice, 30-inch move and 32 wounds, nice. So it's got a Cloudburst missile launcher, 2 Revenant Pulsars and a Titanic Stride. Revenant Pulsars, that's interesting, they are different to the Scorpion Pulsars, damage 3. With these, it's range 60. It's the same range, yeah. Heavy 6 though, but you've got 2 of them. I guess the other one's a twin one, so it's the same amount of shots really. Strength 12 is the same. AP -4 is the same. But this one's plus an extra damage. It's damage 4. How interesting. You can swap it out to the Sonic Lance. Range 18 on that one though. Heavy 3d6, strength 4, -3, 1 damage. Each time an attack is made with this weapon, it automatically hits the target. And a wound roll of a 2+ is always successful unless the target's a vehicle or monster. If the wound is a 4+, a wound roll of 4+ is always successful against vehicles or monsters anyway, so it's not too bad. Cloudburst Missile Launcher, heavy 2d6, range 36, strength 8, -2, 2 damage, and it's blast. But you're mainly taking it for the pulsars. It's got Ancient Doom, Revenant Jetpack. So after each time this model advances, do not make an advanced roll. Instead, at the end of the phase, you get plus 18-inch move to the movement. But I guess that will stop you from firing your weapons because they're all heavy. It's got a distortion field, which is a 4+ invuln save against range attacks. That's really good. So Revenant Titan, pretty good. The Phantom Titan, which is 60 wounds, toughness 9. Okay, the Phantom Pulsars are. It's got 2 of them. 8 shots, range 120, strength 14, -4, and 5 damage a time. So the Cobra is 450 points. The Warp Hunter is 195 points plus stuff on top. So that's pretty good for what it can do. It's fantastic. The Phantom Titan's 3,000 points. The Revenant Titan's 1,500 points. The Scorpion's 500 points. Yes, the Cobra's cheaper. And maybe I should flick back all the way back here because it will be worth having a look at the points values for the Titans, just out of interest's sake. Sort of one of the highlights to look at here. So Titans, here we go. So the Warbringer Nemesis Titan, 3,800 points, the Reaver Titan's 3,000, the Warhound Titan's 2,000, and the Warlord Titan is 5,500 points. Drakari, the Tantalus and the Reaper. The Necrons, The Acanthrites, the Tomb Stalker. That's a little centipede thing, 9 wounds on that thing, 6 attacks. Canoptic Tomb Sentinel, Tesseract Arc, the Night Shroud. Okay, the Gauze Pylon, the Seraptic Heavy Construct, huge thing, Sentry Pylons, that's the points values. Orcs, Warboss and a Warbike, how interesting. So I might be able to bring him back. Zog, this is originally what he's meant to be here. Make him a clan member. Toughness 7 wounds. This is back in action then. Oh, I could bring back Zog. Instead of taking the Death Killer War Track rules, I can run Warboss and a Warbike. And it's an incredible model. If you're an Orc player, I could seriously consider it the 4-drop model for this. Beautiful, one of my favourite models of all time that I've got. Here we go, Deca, Mob Rule, Breaking Heads, Speed War. And one, yeah, and it can, so it's got models equipped with 2 dagger guns and a kill saw. This model can also be, replaced, the kill saw can be replaced with a big chopper or power claw. Brilliant, okay, and then we'll get his points cost in just a moment. Mech Boss Buzzgob. Grot Tanks, yeah, the rules for them. The Grot Mega Tank, Mega Dread. Then Knobs and Warbikes, Mega Dread, Mecha Dread, Squigoff, Big Track, Cannon Wagon, Gargantuan Squigoff, 36 wounds, toughness 8, strength 12. The Kill Tank, 24 wounds on that, and the Custom Stomper, 40 wounds. Okay, so you want to look at the Warboss and Warbike, 115 points. That's it, flat cost. Yeah, I reckons I'll just bring him back into my Orc army. No problem at all. Tau Empire. Right, there's a few units I've always. I've got maybe, let me think now, one I think, 2 models from Forge World, but never expanded out too much. There's some amazing Tau models from Forge World available. So Chasso Alala. I'm not going to try and pronounce that again. That was terrible. This is the one I've had my eye on here, the Hazard battle suits. I was reading some tactical online about these, and they're popular amongst Tau players because one of the reasons, for tactical reasons, over Crisis battle suits, I think you have to take 3 as standard. Here you can just take 1 of them if you really want to go for sort of tactical dropping in of lower costing units. I think the sculpt on these is beautiful, the weapon loadout, just the way they stand, the little fins that come out the side, they're fantastic. Movement 8 on these, weapon skill 5+, ballistic skill 4+, strength 5, toughness 5, got 4 wounds, an extra wound above Crisis battle suits, 3 attacks, leadership 8 and 3 up save. That extra wound is that little bit more durability. And then the weapons loadouts are pretty cool, so you can go for, it can contain up to 2 tactical drones, and then it's equipped with 2 twin hazard burst cannons, and you can swap those out for each hazard burst cannons. You can go for fusion cascade or phased iron gun. So the hazard burst cannons, range 18, but if you're deep striking in and so on, and the closer range now for 9th edition, it's fine. Assault 8, so effectively you've got 16 shots to this thing, strength 5, -0, 1 damage. That apparently is the popular option, but there's not much kick to that. There's loads of shots, but only half of them are going to hit, and then just going to cause a few wounds. I'm looking for something with a bit more damage when it does make a surprise attack. My eye is on the fusion cascade. It's range 12, but if you deep strike in just over 9 inches away, you're going to be in range. Assault D3, so you've got 2 of them, 2 D3 shots, so between 2 and 6 shots, which is alright. Strength 8, -4 D6 damage, and now the updated rules, which if it's within half range, which is range 6 in this case, then it's D6 +2 damage. That's nasty. That's tank popping potential of that. The phased iron gun, strength, range 30. This is kind of an in-betweeny type weapon. Range 30. So it's the better range of all of these. Assault 4, so really you're going to get 6 shots. Strength 6, -1, 1 damage. But again, there's not much kick to that. I like the fusion cascades on this thing. Now, what do you get as far as upgrades? Any number of models can have, we've covered that. Any number of models can be equipped with 1 item from the support systems list. Some of the new Tau stratagems, I guess there's a new codex on the way anyway. But one of the new stratagems, when you land, you count as having 5 mark light hits on the target. So +1 to hit rolls, rerolling 1s, ignoring cover. You start adding all those things in. You know, as the tactic I was thinking maybe was taking 2 or 3 of these in a force, just deep striking in one each turn 2 onwards, picking a target and then enacting that stratagem to get those hits coming through nice and reliably, and then, you know, every turn you've got the threat of this thing landing and taking out heavier targets. I love that. I'm talking myself into getting these things. If you're a fan of the Hazard battlesuit, and even the name of it, the XV9 Hazard battlesuit, is just so cool. For the greater good, Bonding Knife Ritual, Manta Strike is all available, and then Photon Casters as well. So when you do deep strike here, and, you know, maybe in a hot zone, it's an enemy tries to charge, it's -2 from the charge roll as well. Brilliant. And when you are overwatched by something nasty, you know, you've got the Fusion Cascade Overwatch, is nasty enough. And if you go for Tau Sept, it's 5s to hit, and you don't have to play a stratagem for it either. Sold. So I have to get one of those. Christmas is coming. I have to get one of these. So I like the idea of all of that. Just something different, you know, just to mix the Tau up a little bit. I haven't really had any new units for a good while, and you can just lean over towards Forge Rod and get some stuff from them just to mix things up a little bit. Yeah, if you have these, then leave your own feedback. I'd love to hear from some other Tau players that have the Hazard battlesuits. There are Renar battlesuit. I shouldn't even be allowed to be Tau, I can't even pronounce the names. The Tetris. The XV9 Rivara battlesuit, 14 wounds on that thing. The Dimora stealth drones, or Remora, sorry. The Barracuda, the Tiger Shark. Fantastic. The AX10 Tiger Shark, tank buster, I guess. Heavy rail cannon is range 72, heavy 2, strength 14, -5, D3 plus 6 damage. And then each time a successful wound roll is made for an attack with this weapon, the target takes D3 mortal wounds in addition. That's not even you just got a wound and you'll take it. That's nice for me trying to get past invuln saves. Mortal wounds will overflow over the top of the invuln, which is nice. 5 plus invuln save on that as well. There's the Manta at 60 wounds, 100 power level. And then the 50 power level, the Supremacy Armour, the Taunar KX139, 30 wounds. Not that many wounds for this thing. Ballistic skill is 3+, so interesting. And let's have a look at some of the weapons here. The Fusion Eradicator, range 24, heavy 5, strength 8, -4, d6 damage. Within half range, range 12, it's d6 plus 2. They're the Heavy Rail Cannon Array, heavy 2, strength 18, -5, d6 plus 6 weapons, d6 plus 6 damage, and each time a successful wound, it's a guaranteed 3 mortal wounds every time. Nice. Nice, nice. The Triaxis Iron Cannon on overcharge, or standard it's heavy 9, strength 7, -2, 2 damage. On overcharge it's heavy 3d6, strength 8, -2, 3 damage. And there's mortal wounds can flow in with that as well. 5 plus invuln save. It's 1,000 points for that. Cool, you could deploy like 5 of them against a Titan, that'd be fun. Now let's have a look for the Hazard. 65 points. Oh, that's crazy. 65 points. And then if you are going to go for the Fusion Cascade, it's an extra 10. 75 points a time. And that could drop and take out a 200 point tank, no problem at all. With the help of some stratagems. I think, oh boy. Okay. I'd love to take my town a different direction. You know, gunline's dead, and so it's a chance to break out and try something else. I mean, what about like a battlesuit based army with the element of surprise and have fluidity and movement with the tower and surprise attacks, not just boring gunline, but to break out from that and try something completely different and just drop in these Hazard battlesuits. Right, okay. So if you in the future you see these arriving on the channel, you'll not be surprised. Tyranids then, the Melon Fruit, which was pointed out is quite a good option to go for. Its character, the 9 wounds, and grants the -1 to hit rolls, quite useful. The Meotic Spores, the Sky Slasher Swarms, the Dimacaron, the Stone Crusher Carnifex, the Barbed Hydrogel, the Scythed Hydrogel, the Haradian, 34 wounds, toughness 8, the Hierophants, 34 wounds as well, if I can say. And then there's the points values for the Tyranids as well. So that is the review. I apologise I haven't been able to produce a full video. I mean, even by the length of this video here, I've just picked out units here and there. You can imagine just going through the entire thing. But there is the compendium. If you're into Forge World, then this is the book that you will need. Big thanks to Games Workshop for sending me a copy of this ahead of time. Check out all the other reviews on the channel. Link in the video description below for gamingfigures.com, so you can check them out for discount 40k and a whole load more available from them as well. But that's the review. Keep a lookout for more reviews on the channel. Hit the thumbs up and comments about some of the subjects I've raised, the units I've pointed out, and this whole thing with no pictures. Leave your own comments about that as well. Thanks for watching and tune in next time.